Howdy everyone, this is LockNutz, and you're watching a first look mod review of a windrower by 46 Mods. Hopefully you'll stick around to see what happens. Howdy, 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 how are you guys doing today? Oh my goodness, I tell you what. Have you ever put yourself in a situation where you have all of this grass to mow on uneven land, or maybe you even went and you hired a helper or a friend, and that friend mowed grass in areas that were, well, windrower unfriendly, I guess is the best way to put it. Like this back over here. This is not all that spectacular of land to windrow on. Or maybe you're up here and you have straw that you have to go ahead and windrow. Kind of messy, kind of whatnot. Maybe it's not as nice and neat as this, but I tell you what. Today we're going to go ahead and look at a first look of a windrower made by 46 Mod. Now, by the time that this comes out, this mod will already be available for everyone to go ahead and download. Well, not everyone. This is only a PC only as of right now. Don't worry about that dancing back there. It's just happy to see you. Say hi. Hi. Oh, man. Well, I tell you what. Let's go in here to the purchasing place. Store. Let's call it a store. Let's hobble on over to the windrowers, and this is what that set is going to be comprised of. Now, this is a New Holland Rolabar Rake style, raking style windrower, and it also comes with two hitches. Now, there are two different styles right here. The Rolabar 258 and the Rolabar 260 are essentially the exact same thing. They're just mirrored. And the reason for that is if you want a windrow to the left, you have to have the 258, and if you want a windrow to the right, you need the 260. Otherwise, these are exactly the same. Now, over here on the hitches, you have two different style the hitches that you can attach this to. You can also attach these to the back of the tractor. We'll look at that in just a second. But we do have these two different types of hitches that you can go ahead and set up with. This one right here is more for a side-by-side setup, which we'll look at, and this one is more for a follow-the-leader type setup, where you have one up front and one in the back. We'll go ahead and look at that here in just a second. Now, when you come in here and take a look at the options for this, you have a couple different things. By default, it starts off in the old paint job that you have here. You can get the new paint job, which it changes a little bit. It has the new style, and then there's also the newer style where you have more of, like, I would think of as like the classic New Holland yellow and blue setup right there. I particularly like that the best, but that's my own personal opinion. And then, like I said, you go back to this classical look of just the straight up yellow and red on there. There are also a couple different types of attachments you can get, and I just wanted to point this out. You know, the paint jobs are not that expensive considering the overall price of these two windrowers on the back are $500. Not bad at all. So you have the standard attachment type, and you also have the toolbar attachment type. Now, visually, I have not been able to see any difference on here. Where you'll see the difference is where it attaches to the tractor physically. Instead of going to like the 3-point hitch, it'll actually attach to the just the one single pinpoint in the back. So kind of keep that in mind. Now, you can also go ahead and you can have a rear attachment on here. So if you have to go ahead and pull some stuff around, you can go about doing that. And if you get enough of these together, you do end up slowly staggering, because when you pull this, it pulls it straight and it kind of gets this tweaked off to the side. You can go ahead and essentially have a long chain of these right next to each other, and it works pretty slick. It's not terrible. I have had some issues hooking it up if you don't have it all hooked up, or I should say you don't have the attacher type set up correctly. it will not attach the way you want to. So kind of keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and look at that price reel again. So again, the Rolabars, they are $500 a piece. This hitch is $100 or $1,000. This one is $700. So what's the difference of these two? Now, if you're dealing that someplace that likes to have a little dance party, and this is just because these are weighted, there's weight going down onto this, and this completely disappears. So don't worry about that. It's just going to have the shakes for just a little bit until you hook up to it. If you're driving down the road, that's not road friendly. This is road friendly. And that's kind of the biggest difference between these two. We'll go ahead and demonstrate these in just a second. But essentially they all kind of do the exact same thing, except that one works slightly different. Oh man, but I tell you what I've done here. Minus that right there, what I've gone ahead and done is I've actually put, I think it was right around 20 to 40 of these little buggers on the map, started hooking stuff up in a close area to make sure nothing glitched out, and everything attached, everything worked 100% fine. So that's good to know, good to put into your memory bank. Now, let's see these things in action. Hey there everyone, sorry you're going to see a weird little cut in here, but I missed something and I want to make sure I do it right. So, with this little bugger right here, yes, it is super nice for driving down roads. It's super, super clean for that. But one thing that I missed as a function is you can actually go ahead and turn these rear wheels back here so you can make it down the roads and make it super thin. But then let's go ahead and drop both these at the same time by clicking Control V, and you can swing this bad mamma jamma out and get just an absolute beautiful working distance. And that's one of the things you can go ahead and do, is you can kind of control that, tweak it a little bit, get it to where you need it, so that both of these are going to be working out nice and slick. Now, I can almost assume you can also go about doing it where you swing this thing completely out like this, and you actually have the windrowers here that are facing the opposite direction. So this one can kick it in this way, and then this one can kick it in this way, and then you'll end up having just an absolutely fabulous setup going on right there. I really do like this thing. It's absolutely great. You know, looking at this here, I definitely could see myself spending the extra grand to be able to go ahead and windrow this, all of this stuff. So a little playing around, little tweaking with it to make it exactly where it needs to be, but I tell you what, super, super slick, and it doesn't just have to go that direction either. You can spin it all the way around off to the other side, so if you want to have it windrowing over here, you can. Obviously, at that point, you need to get the extra headers here, or not the extra headers, but the opposite facing direction windrowers. Super, super slick, and now you guys are going to see me cut off to working on this bad mamma jamma. Oh, I tell you what, great stuff, great stuff. But that's not what I was talking about. That's not what I was talking about. Let's head on over here to this tractor, because I said, what happens if you go ahead and you have some bum, or a helper, or a friend, whatever, go ahead and screw around, and they're starting to go ahead and mow probably where they're not supposed to, and now you have very, very uneven land. One thing I really, really like about these things is that they are, it's not one large thing like you would see out of, oh, let's take a look at this here, like some of the in-game ones, like this guy, or this guy, or this guy. It's kind of fixed in place. It's a big fixed in place thing, where these guys have more of an independent feel, independent vibe. As you can see, they independently go over hills very, very well, and it really makes for going over these difficult situations, these hilly areas. They just conforms to the land so well. And I would say that these are probably my favorite out of the two roller attachments, but I guess if you really wanted to, you could go ahead and kind of pull these around, take them one at a time back to your starting location, wherever the heck your farm is at. And as you can see, they got a nice sound to them. They independently move. See how they bob and weave like that? Oh, absolutely spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. Now, these here are only going to be available as of right now, like I said, through PC and through 46. Let's see, I want to make sure I get this right. 46 Mods Facebook page. I believe there's going to be a link in there, which I will have the link for where you can download this down below in the description. I will also have a link for the Facebook page of 46 Mods. Now, this is Joe No 46 who's been modding this, and I tell you what, very, very cool. I really, really like this. I personally am looking forward to getting lots of time spent on this. Now, you take a look at the price of all this stuff. Price is absolutely fabulous. The functionality, superb. The only downside I see of this, and like I said, it's not very wide. But this entire setup right here, you got 500, 500, 700 right there. You're looking at $1,700. Where can you get a windrower that functions this good for $1,700 on this game? You just can't. And that's the glory of this. It's absolutely perfect for starting out on your new farms. If you want to do small farms, absolutely spectacular. And the really cool thing about this, guys, really, really cool, your horsepower is only 40. That's all that it requires. There's 40 there, 40 on this one, a total of 80 horsepower. And whether you want to do one of these by themselves or you want to do both of them, you pretty much can use any tractor you want. So big or small farming, it is right for whatever situation you got to do. Obviously, with large farms, large fields, it can be more time consuming, but man, I tell you what, the way that it moves up and down across the land, this is absolutely spectacular. I would have to say hats off. Hopefully you guys do too. Like I said, don't trust me on this. Go ahead, check this out for yourselves. Go ahead, click on those links down below and it'll take you exactly where you can download this mod. Oh my gosh, guys, if you liked what you're seeing here, go ahead and hit that like down below. If you really want to help the channel out, go ahead and click on that subscription button. And like I said, guys, go ahead and click that link down below so you can figure out where you can get this stuff. Hopefully we'll see a translation to console, but I have no idea. That's not my call, not my mod. Guys, turn that notification bell on and set it to all. That way you know when this and other great videos are going to come out from myself, LockNutz of LockNutz Inc. And I tell you what, guys, share this with somebody who might like this small equipment. Unfortunately, just for PC at the time being, but don't worry. I have a feeling it could potentially see its way onto console. Guys, I love it. It's great. Don't trust me. Download it for yourself. I gotta say it because I want to say it. Thanks for stopping by.